Good morning, Dr. Morse, injury experts. So every year we have injuries in the preseason that have the potential to make or break or never really affect an NFL season. Today we're going to talk about one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, someone who slipped to the 5th round out of BYU and made everyone who passed on him pay incredibly. That's none other than Puka Nacua. So Puka came in and set the world on fire 2 years ago. Last offseason, he reportedly suffered, and I will pull up the tweet where they talked about it. Coach Sean McVay said, he sprained his knee, but it was a bursa sac injury. That was the term they used. So he pretty much missed the entire preseason. In week 1, he lands on the same knee. And then they announce the following. He re-aggravated the knee sprain and is set to be placed on IR because he re-injured his PCL sprain. Now, an initial bursa sac didn't make any sense. And as you can see my tweet that said, hey, this looks like a PCL when you have a chance to look at the video. The PCL is the ligament that runs crisscross with the ACL and is responsible for stability in the knee. So think of the PCL ligament as preventing your knee from going backwards. So when the PCL is sprained, it's almost like a elastic band that's very loose. So that knee is very wobbly. Almost think of yourself as like sitting on a bar stool, and the bar stool would be your knee, and then 2 of the 4 legs are really loose. You have no idea which way that bar stool is going to go. That's what happens when you have a PCL sprain. This is what Puka Nacua had. This is what Christian McCaffrey had last year. This is also what Lamar Jackson had several years ago that cost him the end of the season. These are not concerning from a long-term perspective, but in the short term, they are very frustrating, especially the grade 2 PCL sprains, which is probably what Dalton Kincaid is dealing with right now. So here's the problem. You still drafted Puka in the first round or 2 with that increased injury risk. He re-injured it in week 1, and then you missed the first 8 or 9 games, and he wasn't activated until late October. And then he wasn't 100% until week 10. He had a ridiculous run, despite tweaking the knee again. And then he missed the last week of the season, although usually this fantasy season is over by then. Elite stud, but we saw one subtle stupid injury predisposed him to re-injuring it in week 1, which then essentially derailed his fantasy season. Now we head into 2025. He's currently the wide receiver 5 in PPR, justifiably so. Cooper Kupp is now in Seattle. Devontae Adams, who actually may even be a better fit for this offense, is now in Los Angeles with him. There's one small little caveat. I'm not worried about his PCL sprain. I'm not worried about overall his injury history. He's a tough player. He's going to play through it if he can. Unfortunately, that was not one he could play through. But I have a little bit of concern about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is dealing with a back injury. He's had multiple back injuries in the past. He's had multiple fractures in the past. Remember, he had that possible season-ending injury a couple of years ago to his neck that he ended up coming back from. So if Stafford is able to suit up in the next 10 days, I'm not overly worried. But if Stafford is not able to go until mid to late August, I start having concerns. He was evaluated by Dr. Watkins recently, who's one of the top spine specialists for NFL players in the world. And the issue with Stafford and with Puka and Devontae for that matter is you are 100% dependent on Stafford for Puka's potential. Yes, you have Jimmy Garoppolo, but that is nowhere near the same offense. And he's no longer a first-round pick or probably even a second-round pick. That's kind of like Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane without Tua Tagovailoa. Completely different offense. So I'm not worried about Puka personally, but indirectly I have significant concerns. Let's hope all these guys stay healthy in the month of August and rock and roll starting week 1. Hopefully that was helpful to you. I have an extensive deep dive that's in the injury draft guides. There is a rookie version and there is an advanced, veteran version that has a little bit of both in it. Everything will be available Friday, August 1st. And I'm looking forward to another fantastic season. More videos will be coming at you tomorrow. Check out the ones I've done over the past couple of days. Take care.